Hi, my name is Gabby and welcome to my channel, Gabby on Paper. Today's video is going to be a look into my Q4 earnings and spendings. So let's go ahead and get started. Today we're starting in the income versus expenses reports just to look at my total income for the last quarter of 2022. I only have one job, my full-time job. I don't have any kind of like side hustles or second job or anything like that. So it's pretty straightforward. Yeah, I changed the payee, I guess, from my company name to just job so I can show you this. So I can do the little drop down. But so it's just my job. I am a salaried employee, but I am eligible for overtime. So that's why my pay fluctuates from month to month. The average for Q4 was $3,675.91, which is a little bit more. It's about $175 more than what I consider my income to be each month. Just when I'm doing like basic budgeting by paper, I kind of write down my income as $3,500 for the entire month. So the fact that there's a little extra on average is good. It just means I'll be able to send a little extra money towards my goals. So now that we've finished looking at the income, we'll go ahead and look at my spending. For Q4, I spent a total of $8,198.44. That's how much I spent the entire quarter, with an average spending each month of $2,732.81. Of the total $8,200, almost half, 47.5%, came from my bills. And that, of course, is mostly made up of my rent and utility fee that I pay my building, which makes up 90.8% of that, for just over $3,500. The rest comes from my ComEd bill and then my AT&T, just my cell phone bill. Both ComEd and the rent and utility fee I split with my boyfriend 50-50, so this is for my half for the Q4. All right, the next biggest category is the variable expenses, which is no surprise because this does include food, just all my food. Let's see, the biggest expense was groceries, coming in at $637.69. followed by dining out at $635.39. So it's kind of interesting to see. You can see it over here, that there's just over a $2 difference between the two. I know that my dining out is high, considering that's for one quarter. But honestly, eating out here is not cheap. I would say about like 97% of it is restaurant like dining. We don't really do fast food because there's no fast food in our areas. And I love McDonald's fries. If it was easier to get to, it'd probably do that a little more. And I don't know if that's a good thing because I don't see our weekend dining out meals like decreasing, even if we were to go to fast food a little more. If that makes sense. Like, we still like to go to restaurants. But when we go to restaurants, I swear the minimum that we spend each is like $30 minimum. And it's been going up. One of my favorite meals at Italy went up by $4 in less than a year. So it started off at like 23, and last time I had it was 27. So we very rarely do like delivery. What we typically have delivered would be pizza. We've done a couple of Uber Eats for convenience, but it's very, very minimal. It's mostly just going out. And then, of course, there's taxes. The taxes here are pretty high. They're over 10%. And then I think at the restaurant the other day, taxes were like 11.75. I'm pretty sure that's what it said on the receipt. So they're pretty high. And then obviously there's tipping. So as much as I would love to get the dining out category down, it's not really, I don't really see that happening. We are trying to cut back a little bit and maybe not go as often. Maybe once a week is what I'm shooting for, but we'll see how that goes next quarter. And I also foresee my grocery expenses increasing because groceries are so expensive right now. It's just like a 12 pack of eggs, a carton of 12 eggs, whatever. It's like $5 for the cheap like store brand, which is nuts. Not too long ago, I swear, like 2 months ago, they were $3.50 and now they're $5. But I mean, what can we do? Gotta eat. All right, next is miscellaneous, and this is things like a yoga blanket that I bought myself during Black Friday. When I buy like packing supplies like tape to pack up a box, or sending things through like the post office to like my sister, anything like that. Just random things. At one point I did have to pay for my train pass through the miscellaneous category, and that's before I got my transit benefits like applied when I first started at my job. So that's why it's so high. If we were to remove that, I mean, that would make my miscellaneous spending about $57, I guess, so a lot lower. Next is entertainment, and I spent $111.71 in the last quarter of 2022. We went to a Bears game, and so that was a snack at the Bears game. Here are some movie. So I guess this was the movie ticket, and this was the snacks. And then I don't know what the $72.95 was for. I wish I had a memo, but we did a few things in the fourth quarter. Again, the Bears game, we bought tickets to go to the Rose Bowl. Ended up not going, but we sold them, but we did lose money on them. I do not remember what this $72.95 was for. This was after our concerts that we went to earlier in the year. I don't know. It must have been something. I just can't remember. And then finally, treats, $105.52, and that's mostly like snacks at the vending machine, or if we go get ice cream, or if we go to a bakery or whatever, just fun treats while we're out, or if I'm at work. And the final thing is just cash gifts. And when I have cash on me, if someone asks for it, like on the train or when I'm out and about walking, I will give that to them. Usually about $5 or like a couple dollars if I have change or whatever. But I don't always have cash on me, so. All right, so that was variable expenses. We are going to come back to the Gabby Improvement Fund because there are some things that I want to discuss. So we're going to go into sinking funds. I spend $1,066.02, which is 13% of my total spending for the quarter. The majority of that was from Christmas. Almost $700 was spent on Christmas, which is a lot less than I had budgeted. This does include some Christmas activities that we did, like go to zoo lights, the Christmas market, some decorations, like we bought new stockings for my boyfriend and I bought him present, my sister a present, but things got a little crazy near the end of November, and that kind of carried over into December. And so things just changed completely. I didn't give gifts to everyone that I was originally planning to, which is good. It saved me some money that I was able to put towards other things. But I think the $700 is low for what I would normally expect to spend. And I think next year, assuming everything goes according to plan, I'd probably be looking at double. Because I have, my family to shop for, my boyfriend's family to shop for, activities, things like that. And next year, my dad does want to come and spend Christmas with me and my sister. And just, it's been a while since we've had the opportunity to do that, since he lives in a different country. Next is gifts. And this is gifts for my boyfriend's mom, both my nephews, and my sister's birthday. So all of that came from here. Part of my sister's birthday. I think $38.84 was part of it. The rest was purchased like before I started YNAB or something, or maybe in September, so outside of this period. And then like $50 for each of my nephews, and then my $50 towards my boyfriend's mom's birthday gift. I think I got her a architectural boat tour ticket while she was here visiting us. So that's pretty standard. The end of the year does tend to be a little pricey with birthdays, but then I'll calm down, at the beginning of the year for a few months. Home goods is $89.91, and that includes random things from like Amazon, like the Swiffer dusters, or the Instacart is like a Costco order that we place rather than going to Costco and having to figure out how to get everything back to our apartment. We just placed a couple orders on Instacart in the course of the 10 months that we've been here, and that's worked well for us. And that includes things like paper towels, Clorox wipes, toilet paper, things like that. Italy would have been some bowls that I bought for the house, and yeah, just like random house things. It's not too much. This is all for my half. My boyfriend would have paid the same amount for, I think, everything but the Italy bowls. I really wanted those. He does not care, so I just bought those myself, but I think everything else was split with him. I spent $52.89 on travel, and it wasn't even an actual travel expense. It was in preparation for travel. We were supposed to go to Cancun in November, but like I said a little earlier, things got a little crazy and we ended up having to cancel our trip. I did get all the points back on my credit card, and we have a flight credit, so we will be going on this trip at some point. I don't know if it'll be to Cancun like we had planned, but we will be taking a trip before our flight credit expires. This $52.89 were some sandals that I had purchased in preparation for the trip, but yeah, that didn't end up happening. Then rideshare, I spent $39.65 or 3.7% of my total sinking fund spending. I'm trying to get this built up. Like, we don't take Ubers or Lyfts super often. This was just a period of time that was rough for us, like I said, and it kind of caused those expenses to creep up. I was just like tired and didn't want to deal with it, and for this amount of money, technically double, so I split with my boyfriend, it was just not worth it at that time. But as you can see, this is all in within a few days in November, and then a couple times in December. It's just not the norm for us. We prefer to take the train, since that is obviously a lot cheaper, and I have an unlimited pass for myself. My boyfriend just pays like ride by ride. So that's it with the sinking funds. Let's keep going. The focus on now technically are sinking funds, so these two could be combined to make up a total of 15.9%. These are just the categories that I'm focusing on now that are priority for me to fund. The majority of this, $240.71, is for live events, and this is what I was talking about earlier. So the tickets to the Bears game were $147.71. We got like super nosebleeds. They're just the cheapest ones we could find. And still almost $150, completely crazy. But it's not something we do all the time. We just wanted to hit up all the professional sports one time this year. And we did that. With it being the first year living in Chicago, we wanted to make sure we got to go to a Bears game, and it was definitely worth it. Next is Ticketmaster. This was the Rose Bowl tickets that we bought to go see the Utes play Penn State. Ultimately, we decided not to go. Some things had come up, and then also flights were really crazy expensive, like over $700 to go for a couple of days. And that was the other thing. It's like, it's one thing to pay $700 each for a flight, but if you can only go for 2 days, it's not really worth it. So we saved the flight money, we saved the hotel money, but we did lose money on the tickets. The $203.41, it was my portion of my ticket. $111.41 was what I was able to cash out after we sold it. So we did lose about $92 here, which is horrible, but lesson learned. And then $167 here is just some interest that accrued on a credit card. I wasn't thinking, I didn't calculate things correctly, and I ended up having to pay some interest on my credit card. I did pay it off though, so that typically doesn't happen. It was just bad timing. I just was not thinking. And the interest and fees will always be a focus on now category because we want to get those paid off and not pay that anymore. So subscriptions are $139.24, 1.7% of my total spending for the quarter. It's mostly made up of Peloton, which makes up 50.8%. I split this with my boyfriend. Apple One makes up 23.6%, and I split this with my boyfriend and my sister, so this is my third. Netflix, again, split with my boyfriend and my sister, and same with the Hulu. So pretty straightforward there. For the yearly expenses, I have a Southwest credit card that I paid a fee of $69 for. I hadn't prepared for it and created a sinking fund, but I am doing that for the next year. So that's what the majority of the spending was there. The other part is I paid for 1 month of YNAB at just the monthly rate before I decided if I wanted to proceed with paying for it yearly. So the $14.99 covers that month that I paid for. Aside from that, I did have 2 free months using a referral link, and then the 34-day free trial that YNAB provided. And you can use my referral link. It'll be down in the description below. So you get a month free after the 34-day free trial, and then I also get a month free. So because of those referral links, I've been so lucky to not have to pay for my yearly YNAB subscription yet. I think right now it's scheduled to go through on February 4th. But hopefully that will change and we'll push it back another month, but we'll see. And then hidden categories is less than 0.5%, making up $35.90, and that is my Pipstick subscription. This used to be in the subscription category, but I've decided to cancel it. So those are 2 of the charges that were previously in the subscription category, and then I canceled it for December. And yeah. Now going back to my Gabby Improvement Fund, this is the category that I wanted to save for the end. I spent 13.4% of my total spending on my personal categories. So hobbies made up $58 almost, or 5.3% of the total. And that is just stickers. I bought some vinyl, just random things like that, just for all my crafting hobbies. It's really not a lot, so I'm pretty happy with this. This will probably go up at some point. I don't know if it'll go up for the first quarter of 2023 because I am trying to do a lower spend, but it might go up for later months. And then the rest, 94.7% is clothes, shoes, and accessories. That makes up over $1,000 that I spent in 1 quarter, which is completely wild. Completely wild. The full REI coat is on here. I did end up returning it because it was so big, and I bought another coat that was cheaper, but this $1,000 that I spent on shopping was on shoes. I bought an outfit for my work holiday party. I bought a coat, a blazer, socks. I made a Madewell purchase, some like Black Friday shopping and things like that. It's really, that's a lot of money because this is for 1 quarter. I'm assuming that I'm spending $1,000 a quarter on shopping means I would spend $4,000. It is crazy to see that number. So that's why I'm really trying to make January a no-buy month, and I'm hoping to continue that for the rest of the quarter. I think seeing this number being as big as it is really eye-opening for me because that's $1,000 that I could have sent to my 2022 Roth. I did need some of the things that I bought, like my work holiday outfit. I really had nothing. I did need my coat, and that was about 40% of this total $1,000 that I spent. So that was a big ticket item that I won't be buying again, but it's crazy how fast these things add up. And this number, the $1,043.39, is what I have to keep in mind next time I want to go buy something, because not spending that much money on my personal shopping will really help me achieve my goals. Ideally, I don't think I'll be able to do this in 2023 because I had to fund some of 2022, but ideally I would love to max out my 2023 Roth IRA on top of contributing the first quarter and April to my 2022 Roth IRA. I don't know if that'll be possible, but if I cut down on this, it could be, you know. But that is it for my total spending of the fourth quarter of 2022. It's a lot. I'm determined to get all of these numbers down. Well, not all of them, because I can't really do anything about my bills, but I want to get my variable expenses down and not eat out as much, and I want to get the Gabby Improvement Fund categories down as well. And that's what I'm working on actively right now. But thank you so much for joining me in today's video. If you haven't done so already, make sure you give this video a thumbs up and make sure you subscribe. Bye.